Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM23 Lions, episode 121. It's Tour de France, part number 3, stage 11. So we'll be halfway done with the race here shortly. And it's been tough. It has been tough, but we've done fairly well under the circumstances. We do have two stage wins in this race. I tried to put somebody in the breakaway today only to have that not succeed, and we're seeing guys drop down here relatively quickly. I need to get these guys to push on a little bit harder. Difficult stage, but the kind of stage that I feel like there's a better chance of us doing something, except when a huge breakaway formed that we couldn't get our guy into. Our guy being a Shimway. He's 13th overall. There's 15th, 16th, 18th, 20th, 22nd. They're all there. He's only 2 spots further up. He's only mere seconds ahead. It didn't seem like it would have been a big stretch to have him be in the group. We're final 500 meters here. Let's go ahead and increase that effort. This is going to help us recover position also. And we are very much towards the back end now. Hero's already out. First climb of the day, and we're already losing riders. 110 left in the peloton. These guys, we saved the energy. We allowed them to drift. It got more guys over the climb, but can they now A, recover position, and B, recover before the next climb, which is in our cat. This is a crazy hard stage, and we have a terrible draw as a team. Tony has a +5, and then everybody has at least a -1, if not worse. Samuels, for whatever reason, has not had a good race day draw in what, 8 stages now? 7 stages that we've played out live, right? 3 in the first episode, 3 in the last episode. So 6 episodes we've done so far. Mohira, the only one out the back. We did get some recovery, but it's pretty minimal here. Even Arab is looking pretty damn tired before we go into this climb. And this is not what I was looking for our scenario to be like at this point in time. I think this peloton is going to blow up in the next 10 kilometers. Not just the 26, but in the next 10. And we're going to be looking at tiny groups, 1s and 2s, beginning the final climb. We've managed to get a little more recovery in before, but even Arab's still nowhere near full strength. This is scary. And with such quality in that breakaway, though it's split up a bit now. I mean, we're talking about 13 left at the front. 6 of them have been dropped. Magnus Sheffield has been dropped. D'Souza has been dropped. There's a lot of quality in the dropped riders. And the peloton, I'm scared. I am terrified right now, and that's why we're only rolling an 80. Everybody's holding up fairly well near the front. Wait. Hold on. Mohira is out. We need to protect Matoni with Isaacs. Hanoke is a little stronger. Hanoke, push a little harder to hold your position and hang on here. Gel. Samuels is supposed to be the strong one protecting Sammy Arab. Hanoke. This is crazy. They said 10K. That's about what we've done, and we're already seeing the peloton blow up. Samuels is out the back. Others are heading out the back now as well. Ewan's hanging on, but he's probably got a good race day condition bonus that's helping him hang on that little bit longer, but it looks like he's about to get dropped, and Peloton's shrinking already, and we've still got 14K to go. It's Mont Ventoux. This is one of the easier sides to go up, but it's a 23K climb. And it's going to get crazy for the final There's still 94 riders here, so the pace has lifted significantly, and the front group of 13 has dropped 4 more with Moss and Gegenhardt and Foss. Just, oh my goodness, that's a lot of quality up the road. But that one thing about that is that takes a lot of number 2s, number 3 riders out of the peloton. And look, we've practically given up the chase. We're not dropping riders anymore. We're down to 5 at the front as Johannesson and Van Gils and Vanderbecken and Salmon. Those are all like 79, 80 mount guys. Storer and Tollett now dropped as well. Tollett's the one who's placed 15th. Delorme, not Enrique Mas, but Mas was in that breakaway too. But the other Mas and Paulus left. I think those guys all have like 82s on their mountain. We have absolutely nothing other than Arab to try to make a push with. So, no thank you. As much as it would be really nice to attack right now and gain minutes, I don't think Arab has that ability at this moment. And I'd rather have these guys still there, but no, it just split off. But for now it's only 2. They were far enough back. We see a split. We're seeing a team with some of their key guys. Yeah, there's Rue. He's trying to pull it back. If we could have this whole group make it over the top, or just Arab and like 8 to 10 guys here, either a tiny group with Arab, select leaders only, or my whole freaking team, right? That's the 2 scenarios. That's the 2 that you want to see. Benuna and Isaacs are definitely out the back now, and it's still 63. That's a bit much. And Hanouk's about to get dropped. Yeah, I'm not liking that it's just 3 guys all of a sudden, and Shimway is about to get dropped. It does. Damn. Tony just hanging on to the back end of the group here. Loses contact. This is just... But 21 riders, 19 riders. Almost just the select group. Tony's in the next group, Shimway's in the group after, and Hanouk's in the group after that. So if it's going to come back together, at least we have some guys. There's Matoni now. Tony, get up there. Check it in at the front. Foss. Moss King. They've split up a little bit more, but it's largely the same sort of groupings, and the numbers have increased, meaning it's split up more than that too. I mean, it's 7 separate groups of the remnants of that insanely talented breakaway that formed today that we couldn't even get a Shimway in. Pretty healthy gap to a Shimway's group, and it's 6 riders with him. Mahorich, Germay, Hagita. We've seen Hagita with the top 5 in a recent climbing stage, but he's pretty far down overall. Not a fan of there being so many riders here and only having a single support rider, at least who's fully recovered. I mean, at least there's that, but everybody in this group's got to be fully recovered, right? Okay, valley floor for a little bit. We pull back 1 breakaway rider. 6.5 minutes to the front, guys. And that's coming down fairly quick. So we've got enough firepower here. We just split off 15 riders for no good reason, and are suddenly with 34 chasing. Now my 2 riders in a group of 34 is looking a lot better, and we've got a good little tempo getting set here. Arab remains fresh as we are chasing and pulling back some of these guys up the road. Before we begin, and I'm assuming this is our you go up the other way Mont Ventoux, and yes it is. This is the steeper, tougher climb. Checking in now. We can get another clear picture. Still 6 minutes. It was 6.5 a moment ago, so we pulled it back a little bit. There's only 5 riders this time. They have a lot less firepower, but they still have a ton of quality. Tullet has rejoined. Storer has rejoined. The other 3. Will they have enough firepower to keep going, or did they bury themselves to do that? Meanwhile, Moss and Johannesson were further back, and they've moved forward. Vanderbecken and Salmon, even they're not going to be an easy catch. I mean, we're over 3.5 minutes behind them. But 2 and 2 with those 2 groups, they're going to lack firepower. They've been solo a long time. They aren't going to have, even though they recovered on the descent, A, they used up a lot of energy on the flat just now. B, they've been riding in the breakaway all day, and they just went mostly solo over the last climb, which means they went deeper than we did. Even though we barely made it, they went deeper than we did. So they will have less energy for this climb. So those 4 I expect to come back. The front 5 I expect to blow up. I think Storer and Tullet are going to get dropped fairly early, but I would think 1 or 2 of those riders have a decent chance. It's a 6-minute advantage. They have a decent chance of taking the stage today. And what was it? Tullet is the one that's 15th overall and only 7-8 minutes down. He's not going to finish 6 minutes ahead, but if he finishes 1 or 2 minutes ahead, it's going to move him up. But only 37 in the Peloton. That's a lot better than it was when it was 50-something a minute ago and us only having 2 riders. Shinwei is still in that not far off the back situation, even though there was a group of 14 dropped. We left that group behind. So those guys really took their foot off the gas. Adria, Sheffield, Chevalier, Zampanini, Buitrago, Umit, there's a lot of strong climbers in that group that are no longer here. Nance Peters, Johannes Dalek, and one of the only Africans that is not on our team. He's here. Okay, focus. We left behind Tobias Foss. He was one of those breakaway guys, so he recently lost contact, and it's 4 minutes behind us. Shimway is not going to regain contact. We're looking at 2 riders. Tony's already used his gel. Let's do this thing. Let's do this. Okay. Mont Ventoux climb, 1,900 meters, 8% average gradient. It's gradual for a little bit. We're on that gradual bit. We'll see if Arab can hold an 80. In fact, we'll see if he can hold less than that. It's not really following direction. 77 is not going well. 78 is just about holding us. Okay, we're into the steeper sector. Matoni's going pretty deep already, but at least we have protection. 1 rider to protect us. This is very much kind of putting us into the middle of things now, so we don't want to drift too far back. And like I said, we were going to catch some guys at the front. We're catching some guys at the front rather quickly. That front group is now just 4 minutes ahead, so we've already pulled 2 minutes back on them, and they're down to 4. It's not 5 now. They dropped 1. Not Tullet. Salmon's already been caught and dropped very quickly, so we're +4 at the moment with breakaway guys. Matoni's not going to last too much longer. We still got 11K to go on this climb. Things are stretching. Arab is further down, but looking at his energy base, and we're only halfway up the climb. Gel for Arab, he's about to be solo. Matoni out the back. Mater, Moss, Salmon. Now Kugelman out the back. Arab has recovered to a front position, which means the tempo has lifted. The front group, Paulus has been dropped. So now it's the last 3. Tullet somehow hanging on. He's 15th overall. 8:32 down. Paulus is trying to regain contact, it looks like. And we're down to 30 here. Brambilla, Vlasov, Almeida trying to attack. Arab is still here. Still rolling at a 77, but there goes a group of 9. Arab doesn't have the firepower to chase that. I mean, he is looking really weak right now. It's now in front 8. 14 chasing. Arab down to his last little bit of energy. And he's going to get dropped. Get a little recovery. He's not getting the recovery. I think we're just going to have to climb and hang on. That's Paulus, who was in the break. Assess the damage here with 3K to go to the top for us. There's Bermuda's. He's 18th overall. Sivakov's not a threat. Arnsman is 10th, so we're losing time to Arnsman right now. Pidcock's already ahead of us. Hindley is well behind. Leknasund is 5th. Roland is gaining time on us right now. 85 Mountain. He's in the second group on the road. Vlasov is 14th and gaining time. Third and fourth place, Almeida and Vingegaard are losing time to the leaders, gaining on us, obviously. Petrovic is like 2 seconds behind us overall. He's going to be way ahead of us at this point. And then here is the front group. Breakaway rider, Tollet, Moss, and then you have Brambilla, who's 6th, and that's our under 25 rival, plus Pogacar, Delorme from the break. So it's 4 leaders pulling away. Evenepoel and teammate Lenny Martinez doing the work. Can you get heart rate down while still being here? Can you get some recovery going? Can you contribute now? Contribute. We got to get up without losing much more time here. It's final kilometer for Arab. Okay, recovery begins. We got 79 downhill today, so 99. Anywhere and everywhere we can, we want to accelerate. The 3 that are just ahead of us, Arnsman is 10th, so that would really help if we can catch him. Sivakov and Bermudez. Risky with the weather to push. Can we leave behind Paulus? I don't want to pull Paulus. He's 22nd. And they're pulling away. We are sprinting downhill, and they are pulling away. Full sprint. 8K to go. Time loss is definitely a thing. We're losing up to 3 minutes here today. We don't know what happened in that last about 2 kilometers of the climb for the guys at the front. Delorme has won the stage. Wow. Martinez, Pogacar, Evenepoel. 1K to go. Already 14 riders across line, but 3 breakaway guys. We're coming in at 19 and 20. Palace somehow gets the throw, even though I appeared to be 4 or 5 inches ahead of him. Not that that matters. But we lost like 2:45. We're not competing for the podium. That much you can already say goodbye to. It's now just trying to squeeze into the top 10. And a lot of those guys in that top 20 were not competing for a top 10. But was it 10 of them? Probably not. We saw at least a couple guys ahead of us that were a danger to our position. I would imagine we'll be down to 10th or 11th following that. Hanoch was 32nd on the stage. Ashimwe was 43rd. And after 45 minutes, the last riders are starting to go over the top and descend quickly. Cutoff today is 1 hour and 23 minutes. Mohira has made it under the time cut. There's still some riders out there. It's going to be close on that time cut, but it looks like everyone's going to just make it inside. They do. Hour 17. So no riders are lost due to time cut. For us, it would start to be good, if teams lost 2-3 riders, they'd have a lot less firepower. Oh, this helps. Okay, Delorme was a minute 13 up, and he was not a threat in the GC. He's an 81 Mountain. He's another. There's so many in this field that are 81 Mountain or better. And again, our best guy is a 79, way behind that. Lenny Martinez, that's where threats begin. Well, Martinez was... yeah, he was just outside of the top 10, so good chance he's going to be ahead of us. But that means we lost less time. 250 is what we lost, but we only lost a minute 40 to the leaders. We only lost minute 20 to the chase group. We only lost minute 10. Brambilla, that's a hard one to lose that time to. But it does soften the blow a little bit. It made it minute and a half kind of range to most of who we made losses to. So, Arab still in the top 10, but this was our roughest draw so far. This was a really poor draw. While Arab did have a +3, he was not surrounded by a bunch of guys on +3s, 4s, and 5s. In fact, we still, at this stage of the race, only have 3 guys on a fitness peak. The freshness isn't there. The motivation wasn't there coming out of the rest day. This was a pretty harsh draw kind of day. And I think it could have gone a lot worse than it did. Obviously, it could have gone a little better as well. But I think under the circumstances, that's about all you can expect. I mean, when we're looking at Bernal, add the bonus, he's got an 82, an 83. Van Aert's the surprising one, but he's just crazy good. And how is he only got a 71 mountain? Anyway, but Palace, 80 base, add the +4, 84. 83 base, medium mountain. And we were riding with him. We helped pull him down the mountain. He moved up 6 spots to 16th. Bermudez, 80. Tollett was in the breakaway all day. Clearly looked like he's got a +5 going. Vlasov, Roland, Martinez is right behind us, 4 seconds behind us in the standings, and 87 mountain to our, what did we have, an 81 was it today with our bonuses? So we dropped 2 spots to 10th, and obviously that doesn't look good because we're the only one in the top 10 that lost positions. But just being in the top 10 is going to be a heck of an achievement within this race. There's just quality everywhere. Arnsman, 22 seconds ahead of us. Petrovic, Pidcock, they're all going to be difficult to catch at this point. Top 6 now looking like the ones that still have a chance, but really, Ventoux, Pogacar, I think it's up to them. Almeida and Vingegaard maybe could surprise, but they're going to have a hard time. Everybody's having a hard time. This is a hard race. So we just had 2 more sprint stages. Let's get a look. No changes in the top 10. The points, Delay now has an 11-point lead in the points classification, overtaking Girmay, Philipsen, Ewan are definitely the top ones here. I mean, Pogacar is up here on the points classification. It really drops off. You've got 3 big-time sprinters. KOM, Delorme holds it, slight advantage over Tollett. They're going to totally exhaust themselves in the final stages, and there's going to be a lot more points out there, but for now, they've got a chance at it. Martinez really could be somebody who could get after it with the amount of points he has and the fact that he's got that insane mountain rating and could be competitive in stages to come. We're down to 3rd in the under 25s as Petrovic is also in that classification, and then it's a huge drop off after that. But our beautiful, we had 5 riders in the top 8 thing is now 3 riders in the top 8, 4 in the top 9. We're still doing well compared to others, but I mean, it really shows just how bad of a race Samuels is having. 2.5 hours down. Mohira is 252. Mohira's got a 74 mountain rating and a 70 medium mountain. As a team, we are definitely not number 1 anymore. We are 18, almost 19 minutes down and down to number 5. So we've really fallen off from where we were. And that's what happens when you get a couple really tough mountain stages. When it was some easier stuff, we had some light mountains and or hills, we were doing great. Get into this scenario, and this is where those ratings really, really offset, and we find it difficult. Which many of you commented that we should probably go for La Vuelta all in and not necessarily the Tour because of how tough the Tour was going to be. I saw the profile and was like, hey, it's a little bit of a better opportunity, certainly better than the Giro, and it's worth a lot more. A win here means a lot more than it does in La Vuelta. I don't mean overall stages and whatnot. The points are higher, but obviously every team brought every best rider that they could. I mean, this is just insane quality. But that's also what happens when you get to July of 2030. The way this game is structured, the database gets deeper and deeper and deeper, especially at the top end. And we don't have, especially because we didn't get any bonuses for Africa despite doing things that would earn them, despite having successful seasons, we weren't seeing bonus points coming into popularity until last season. We weren't seeing training points come in until this season. There was a couple right at the very, very beginning thanks to Germay, and nothing. It was just darkness for years. Catching up, damn near impossible. I think at this point, realistically, goal for this series, this one right here, the team rankings. We're third. We are putting together a really strong season. But what's happening? We were first for a long time. And then came the Giro. Dropped us to second. Then came a couple other larger week-long tours. Now the Tour de France. Then La Vuelta. And we're going to see that position just slowly drop over the course of the season. That early classic season, those one-day races, those punchy ones, the flat ones, we do well for those. But when we go head-to-head with the world's best climbers, that's not us. And finding that in the pool obviously just doesn't exist. And as good as we could be, realistically, not looking at stage-by-stage profile, but realistically, looking at how our team is structured, looking at how other teams pick their riders, it would be smarter to split our team up in a way next year. Go for the Giro, go for La Vuelta, send some stage hunters to the Tour. Because we clearly aren't strong enough to compete properly with them. And we're going to be lucky to keep the top 10 that we now barely have. And there's quite a few stages to go still, and it could get ugly, but there's ways. We drop out of the top 10, we get down to 11th or 12th. We send Arab and a couple riders into the breakaway, and we've got a chance to regain time. There's methods, there's ways to do it to still focus on GC. But realistically, I don't think we're gonna ever have enough quality, especially as the database gets deeper and deeper. I don't think we're gonna ever have enough quality to make World Tour as a team. We're always going to be a Continental Pro team. So a realistic goal at this point, besides just continually gaining points for the African nations, right? To build a continent, and that is still to an extent the ultimate goal. But a realistic target for us to be successful is to see if we can't get as high as we possibly can in those team rankings. And fingers crossed, though I don't expect, number one. We held it for a lot longer this year than we held it for last year, because we did have it for a little bit last year, but it only lasted for about 2 months last year. We held it for, well, till the day the Giro ended this year. We held it for a lot longer, and you'd want to build on that season by season. Better and better. Do more and more with it. We only have 1 or 2 more seasons to play at this point before we get to the release of PCM24. But that is going to do it for this episode. We've got more racing to do, obviously. Not all stages are going to take as long as the one we did today, so we'll still be able to cram some in, but these big mountain stages require a lot of focus, a lot of effort, and take longer to get through. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.